Hey Space Watchers, and welcome back here from London. We just concluded the first Chatham House, what you see here behind us, Space Security Conference. A day full of conferences, full of panels, full of intense dialogue here in this really interesting building. And I have the great pleasure to have with me here Professor Kai-Uwe Schrogl from ESA, who was the ESA representative here. Kai-Uwe, how are you doing today?
Thank you, I'm fine, Thorsten. And as you say, Chatham House, very first address, not only because it's a marvelous building, but it's also a institution which is very well known, which is working extremely well, which has a big outreach, and which organized this conference in a perfect way.
So, what have been the topics you discussed here on your panel?
Well, we discussed a number of topics, mainly around the issues of what the expectation of countries, states, but also then other relevant actors are with regard to security on the one hand, but also then sustainability and economic development on the other hand, and how to bring that together and develop both in a way which is meeting the expectations of a growing space economy, but also the necessities of maintaining space for peaceful purposes and for peaceful uses.
What is a hard task these days? How would you rate this conference? Because we see a number of conferences these days. I mean, anything. So, what is the specialty? I mean, is it just coming with the name, with the Chatham House, or were there some specific content issues that you also took away from it?
It comes with Chatham House indeed, because Chatham House, it's not only the Chatham House rules, but it's also the way things are discussed, presented, and the mechanisms which are going on at such conferences. It's not simply routine. It is an experience, a decade-long experience indeed, which shows that this institution creates an atmosphere also where an exchange is different to exchanges you see and you can conduct in other contexts or in other places. So Chatham House is special, but they also are able to invite personalities with whom it's really interesting to exchange. They have an audience which is absolutely vivid. You don't have to ask, oh please, is there any more questions? So perfect from that perspective as well.
So you enjoyed it, with other words?
Oh, I absolutely enjoyed it. It was inspiring for me, not only my panel, but also the other panels. And I learned a lot. I was made thinking of a lot of things, and for me it was really a worthwhile experience to come here.
Can you give us 1-2 takeaways from this conference, from this one-day conference?
Yeah, I would say from ESA perspective, first of all, we had, of course, the head of the UK Space Agency, also head of the delegation of UK in Council. We had also the Council delegate, head of delegation, Conte from Portugal. And they made clear what they also expect from ESA, that they have confidence in what ESA is doing with the mechanisms ESA is doing, also in perspective of supporting space security for its member states and for Europe as a whole. So simply that was it was a very important message and a set even of messages for us. And then the exchanges in open and then in the more closed format on threat assessments, on the question how regulation, not only the issues which are evolving around space treaties or so, but also transparency and confidence building measures and everything which could support then a better security constellation for not only Europe but then globally, was very much inspiring.
Great. Thank you very much for this summary. And with that, Space Watch out.